Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight to the No Lag Zone. All the fun's going to get started here in a moment, and as most of you know by watching my channel, yes, I'm pre-recording this neat stuff in the alternate filming room. I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to bring your love, your laughter, your energy into what hopefully will be a really, really good show. Don't worry, we're going to get everything started here in about... I wanted to be better with that, but I'm not, so you know this channel.
I like that.
All right. We are live with our brand new opening. Got to try things a little differently tonight.
I mean, we could work on. That is actually, yeah.
I did it backwards, but I'm still trying a little out there. Wanted to be a little different. It didn't go exactly as planned, but it's still a first. But guys, you know my channel. If I don't screw something up, it's not a normal night, right? So, hey, I see Dagan popping in. How you doing? Gary Bowman, how are you, sir? And Bearded Metal Chef grabbing first. Now, guys, tonight we kind of have a little bit of history being made. Whether you believe it or not, we got a little bit of history. Gary is the first owner I have invited for a third time to the channel. Third. Now, I've had another owner on. Hey, Vicky, how are you? I've had another owner on 3 times, but he just kind of jumped in when I had a guest bail at the last moment. Why are we having a flickering? Okay, but still. Now, guys, Gary is very, very good. Well, I should say the other Gary. Yeah, there you go. The other Gary. Nice. I saw that. Has been a great friend of the channel. Actually, Gary Bowman, you'd be like the third Gary. So still. But Gary,
in prior situations where this has occurred, I've gone from big Gary to medium Gary to little Gary, depending on like how big I am compared to the other Garys. So I don't know how big Gary Lewis is or Gary Bowman. So we'll have to figure this naming convention out.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, Rob Brennan, how you doing? Now, Gary, I know that you're growing since the last time you've been on the channel, but why don't you introduce yourself and your company to the world, brother?
Sure. So Gary with Lafleur Co. Beard Care. We started out back in summer 2018. We're located in Dallas, Texas. I was on the. So does that make me the other Gary? Yeah, right now Gary Bowman. Yeah. So basically, I was doing work on the road as a consultant, and on the weekends, I was looking for something to do to kind of. It started as a hobby where I just wanted to work with my hands. And kind of around that same time, I wasn't having success finding beard oil scents or textures that I really enjoyed. Nice, man. Yeah, we're over in East Side. Or East Dallas. So basically started out as a hobby, and I had a few friends that had better beards than I, and so I just reached out to them. This is not what this was 3 years ago.
I know. Guys, trust me. We have photographic proof that we're going to play a little show and tell game later, okay?
Oh, God. But yeah, so I reached out to some friends, just like, hey, if you had your own beard oil scent, what would it be? And so it kind of started out where the original scent profiles that I have are all named for the people that inspired the scent, my friends and mentors. And then over time, they were the first ones that. Oh, nice. The church I go to is over by White Rock, Shoreline City. But yeah, so initially I would, because I was on the road Monday through Thursday, I would get their feedback from something I sent to them, work on it over the weekend, and then on the way to the airport, I would drop it off at, the post office and mail it out to them. Eventually, over the period of, I want to say 7 initial batches, the number of people that I sent beard oils to went from, a small circle of people, my close friends, to people that became more interested, as I was working on social media, which ironically, I don't really do social media anymore. So, it was kind of cool though to get this feedback from various people, friends, family, and the whatnot, and for them to be a part of, I guess, the process of, getting a beard oil texture, but also the scent profiles to a point where I was happy with them. And, we started in May, and then February 11th, 2019, we did the Amazon and website launch. And so, yeah, it's kind of our origin story.
I see, guys, he always forgets this one little bit, all right? Gary works in the corporate world, so you got to be careful about overstimulating your environment and having those scents waft everywhere. You guys know the ones I'm talking about. They walk by, and an hour later, you're still going, nice. Yeah, she came by here an hour ago. His scents are so sneaky good. They're not overpowering. I mean, you may get a little smack in the mouth at first if you don't shake it up properly with some of the scent profiles, but they're really, really good. And I like the fact that he designed it from that aspect of the corporate world and not getting you in trouble with HR for simply wearing beard oil.
Well, that was one of the key focuses, which in our first conversation and I gave you some of the backstory of that was, everybody's kind of had the experience where someone just puts too much of something on that's very pungent. And to be fair, and this has been in a few. Hi, Morty. You want to say hi, everybody?
The puppies.
We're a dog family, so you might see the other puppy come by. Hi, Mort.
Oh, that's quite okay. Joe, brother, I hope everything worked out fine today, man.
Hey, Joe. I'm going to have white tan dog fur everywhere in a few minutes.
You're good. I'm probably going to get jumped by my kids in a moment, so it evens out,
There you go. So this is our 2-year-old. This is Morty, or Mortimer, because he has the old man beard face. And I also just love Rick and Morty. So I'm a pickle Morty.
Bill Rivers.
What's up, Bill? But my ADD is probably going to be a little bad. So what we were just talking about. Squirrel.
Yeah, the fact that you designed everything from your corporate standard and not trying to get into HR. And, you're talking about when we've had our first conversations of why you did that.
Morty. Shush.
Guys, yeah. I love his bottles. They have that real old school look to them. And one of the things that instantly draws you is that wax top.
Which we have a funny story with that.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there. Look, I'm the reason you can't give guns to monkeys, okay? They will play with them. You gave me some great information that I'm going to use tonight, all right?
Point taken. I mean, we started in 2018, and we survived 2020. In 2020, went out kicking and screaming. So I know a lot of small businesses ended up closing, so we're just very grateful and fortunate to have gotten through it. So yeah, it was an interesting year. But yeah, basically the scents and the oils, my beard was much shorter back then. So as my beard has grown, I've noticed, and I'm testing kind of different ideas because, I wanted a formula. Morty, go on. You can do it. Go on.
He's like, Dad, look, there's my butt. Scratch it.
Oh, he's the worst with that. I am probably going to have to close that gate so that he stays back over there. So this is my non-beard oil workspace. Like my computer's here, my music stuff's all here. Beard oil stuff was there, and it's moving to a different room for reasons that will become clearer later. But
it's killing me. We'll get there.
All of this stuff is separated by baby gates, and I apparently left the gate open.
So that's how Jenna keeps you under control? Just closes the baby gates?
Oh, yeah. Like we have the bookshelves. There are 2 completely stacked giant bookshelves. So like I can't see the rest of the house. I am just siphoned off into just this little corner. But hi, Mort. I know. Is mom not petting you? I'm sorry.
You're fine, bro. You're fine. You're fine. I understand completely.
Oh, I was apologizing to him because.
All right. I was like,
you got you as well. But I am going to close the gate. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you got it, man. Now, everyone in the chat, you may want to go out there and say that we have an exclusive giveaway tonight, courtesy of Bluegrass Bearded. If we can get some more people in here, we're going to give it away, okay? I know everybody's watching Healthy right now, but still, you might want to share this. We've got a great giveaway that's been sponsored by the Bluegrass family. It'll become apparent in a little bit.
Nice. We also have some beard and comb sets if anyone, wants those for a giveaway. I have too many at Amazon, so.
Dude, you tell me what you want to do. We'll roll it. I don't care.
The three of them?
Yeah, I like you too. Way to go, Mr.
We doing with Inglorious Bastards, where it was, that gave them away versus that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some region of Bavaria, something like that.
Hey, Gabriel, how you doing, man? Okay, so I like the fact that when I first ran into you, you guys were like a really, really small company. And I love how we had that conversation, and you were like, yeah, I ran out of beard oil to sell at one point. I think that is something phenomenal to have, especially how everything routes through Amazon.
Yep. Yeah, that just happened for the first time ever this December, which kind of a bummer because December is always a high sale month. So, had there not been issues regarding supply chain and having everything in place, to get to them, it's basically lost sales. But in the same breath, like we had October and November were as high, if not a little bit higher than the prior December in sales. So that even though we didn't have full volume at Amazon for December, we still came out ahead. So it was cool to see that, and it was a learning experience. Have a fresh set of batches ready prior to that last quarter. But as you and I had talked about recently, it was just I'd never been at that point where my inventory, was going to be that low, so I just wasn't prepared. And it's just a learning experience, which,
yeah,
you can look at my life and it's learned a lot from, mistakes, and you just learn from it. So,
have you finally moved off page 75 on Amazon, where I think I found you?
I think we're on 30 something. We're moving up. The reviews, I think on average, we're at like a 4.1. And we're over 100 ratings.
That's pretty good.
So I'm happy about that, because I remember back when it was 10 people and they were all my friends and family. So it was cool seeing the first 5-star on there for the Gary that wasn't anyone I knew.
I bet you printed that out. You've got it in a frame on your wall somewhere, right?
Nope.
Oh, you should, because that's the first.
I probably should, but then I don't know. There's part of me that on certain days it's a good day, and I'm in a good mental place, like looking at the reviews and I know I can be objective about what I'm reading and look at like the bullet points that they give me. And then there are some days where it's just like, this guy's being a troll, and just
you get them everywhere. I mean, remind me, I'll send you links to some certain reviews that I've done, and
yeah. I mean, so Jenna is my wife, for those of you who don't know. So she and I have been dating, or had been dating, when I first founded the company, and she's always been very supportive. And one of the things that frustrates her, because she'll read them on occasion, is like, okay, so the only thing they didn't like was the scent. The texture they liked how it felt in their beard, but the only thing they didn't like was the objective just scent. And they gave you a 1 star. And it's like, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that except if they give me objective feedback, like it was just too strong. Otherwise, I like the scent. That's what I can do. So.
And I agree with Chef.
Thank you.
5-star rating at 105 is pretty damn good, especially, and God, this is not meant to sound like I'm an arrogant ass, but for an unknown company on Amazon, when you're scrolling through and you go, hey, that scent profile seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good. 60%,
Yeah. So you and I have had talks recently about, like the Lindsay, because, some of the scent profiles, so for those out on the web, we started out with 8 cents. We eventually consolidated down to 7. And next quarter, and you heard it here first at the No Lag Zone, we're going to be releasing new packaging for 4 of them. The Gary, the Bradley, the Eric, and the Andy. And the 5th one that we're going to keep selling in the original packaging is the Lindsay, and that's to prevent any revolts from occurring, specifically from Chris, with the company be named later, just because that seems to be a fan favorite, and
it's good. It is good.
I restocked that 2 weeks ago, and it's about sold out again.
That was my original purchase from you, and that and what happened the next day after I dropped my review hooked me on your company forever. Seriously. Guys, I will tell you, if you watch my first review of him, it wasn't kind.
I'm still not walking straight.
Next time we'll numb you up before the colonoscopy, okay?
This is my first colonoscopy, ever. And yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, and Gary got a hold of me the next day, and he went, do you have time for a video chat or a phone call to address your concerns? And I was like, fucking really? Someone's reaching out to me? Okay, cool. And he came to play, not knowing his total corporate world at that point. He had bullet points. He had everything to address. He was very professional and just went right down through it. And I was like, well, fuck me. Now I got to go buy another one.
Well, you'll be getting all the new packaging once we get that all set up. I got the new mixers because that was one thing that we lost at the end of 2020 was the actual things I mixed with. So I got those in a day, so we'll be making some new batches this weekend. So
okay, yeah, we got to get to that one, guys.
Okay.
I'm not revealing anything, behind the scenes. He put this out there on Instagram. How dedicated is a company owner when he tries to burn down his house to make product? That's all I'm saying.
It's Christmas Eve too. So
great day.
Yeah. So as Chris pointed out, we have wax tops, and so.
And isn't that the color of your alma mater?
Yeah. So I, for those who don't know, I went to UT Austin for my master's in business administration. So you'll see actually one of my classmates in one of the pictures that I sent Chris earlier. But yeah. So the burnt orange has a new meaning now. But basically, we melt the wax in a little pitcher that's on a hot plate, and then we dip, the tops into it, and then we have an arbor press that we stamp with it. And so it usually takes a couple minutes for the wax to melt. So I brought the dogs out back, came back, there was a lot of smoke, and ran into the room. The dogs were back in the house. I thought it was just a little bit of wax got onto the hot plate. No, the whole table's on fire. So I grabbed the closest thing, which was oddly a Harry Potter robe that I had gotten with my wife when we were in Orlando last year, pre-pandemic. So that got a good amount of the fire kind of down so that I could run out of the house and bring the dogs out, get the dogs out of the house. Came back, was looking for the fire extinguisher, couldn't find it. The one time you need a fire extinguisher.
Right.
Yeah. I threw on, like one of my masks by the door because it was just, you couldn't really breathe really well. But our bathroom was right next door, so I grabbed a bunch of towels and like smothered the fire. So thankfully, no structural damage. We only lost a half batch, which granted that's revenue, but we lost a half batch because I moved it out of the way and it spilled everywhere. But otherwise, we just lost the hot plate, we lost our mixer, and we lost a drill for the caps. So
you're still having to drill through the caps?
3/32 inch drill bit.
You're never going to forget. Guys, he has those Euro restrictor tops. And I love that story that he was talking about. When he bought them, he wasn't sure what he was getting into. And he literally had to drill each top as he was putting them in.
Yeah, it's fun because you have the way that they come in is like you're not trying if you're not burning your house down. I mean, come on, that's basic business 101. I need to tell UT that they need to put that in a textbook somewhere. Like, hey, you're not trying hard enough unless you try and burn down your house.
I'm just saying, And the fact you put it on Instagram had me laughing for a while. Oh, Carrie.
I mean, so Lafleur Co. So I'm not relying upon the income. For me, it's more about making something that I'm going to use, that my friends are going to use, that I just enjoy making for other people. And if one day there's, if it's sustainable on its own, that's great. But it's also been an opportunity because most of my day job work usually doesn't incorporate a lot of the MBA classwork that you're taught. That you're not incorporating the theory that you're taught. So this has been an opportunity since the very beginning where it's like, even if this business fails, I'm going to have, learned something. And I don't think it's going to fail. If it does, it's purely my fault. But
so you're leading from the front. You're taking, if it fails, you're like, it rests on me. Yeah. You're not going, the marketing department didn't do this, supplies didn't do this, freaking COVID. No, you're like, yeah, it rests on me.
I am the marketing department. I am the supplies. I am accounting currently, but it's all been learning from, okay, this works, this doesn't. This works really well. How can we improve upon that? And so, one of my friends who has been, prior to, I think last quarter, because he had gotten COVID over the summer. It was my buddy Ben, who's kind of taking over. He was the person who was taking over my social media for a bit there. He took a step back because of long-term effects of COVID, really affecting just like his breathing and his health. So eventually I think he'll be coming back, but he was actually doing a better job of thinking long-term than I was, where he's just like, okay, you have a good product here. How do we scale? And it's like, dude, I'm just trying to break even at this point. And so, but he also brings up a good point, from a 1,000-yard view, what do we need to do to get from here to make this something that like can sustain itself? So that's been something we've been thinking about for about 6 months. And so this year, we're kind of focused on, like I said, we're consolidating down to the 4 plus the 1 for the new product sense, or for the current product sense, and then the future products, including a butter, which also you heard it here first on the no lag zone. We're going to have a butter by Christmas season next year, or this year, 2021. And so going to open it up to the people here, like what we did with the beard oils. You know, initially I start out with the initial batches kind of going to my closest circle, but then I would like to incorporate more feedback from this community because, you know, you guys have tried way more products than I have. And so if my stuff isn't on par with what you would expect, I know I'm going to hear it. And I know it's going to come from a place of, you know, this can be better. Yeah, exactly.
See, I always screw that up, especially like when I'm in a feed with a whole bunch of other people. So I made myself a template. One of those arrows is going to point at the right person sooner or later, you know?
You got it. I like that. But yeah, so we're going to open up the samples to this community first before or after my closed circle. We're going to open it up to you guys to like, hey, here's a, you know, 1 ounce butter sample in this scent or these 4 scents, you know, well, tell me what you think. So the first plan for this quarter is the new packaging. And I finally have my accounting down to where it's not going to take me an entire year and I can focus on actually making new products, which is what I really enjoy doing. So I'm hoping next quarter will start. And so that way, like, we already have an idea of what we want for the packaging. So it'll be a little bit quicker from there. So.
Okay, because Gary mentioned he's got 3 giveaways for us tonight, guys. We're going to get one out of the way right now. So hang on a second here.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the dozens of you watching and the thousands of you that should be watching, it's time for a giveaway!
Always got to incorporate the family in there somewhere.
So freaking cute, dude.
If you have them, I'll ship them to Texas. That's all I'm saying.
No.
After all the COVID crap, yeah.
Nope, she's wanting some others. So,
but guys, we got 7 people watching, so we're gonna make this really, really simple. As soon as I can find my freaking iPhone, we're just gonna do random number generator 1 through 5. We're gonna do the Dan C rules. Y'all know that just basically means the internet's gonna prioritize your answer first. And it's what appears on my screen first is the one that counts. And it's only 1 through 5, so it's not like we're going to be here all night. So hold on. Random number generator. Come on. All right, guys, I got the number. Go. And we'll wait a moment while StreamYard catches up, you know. I just burning down the house. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, there was soot everywhere, dude.
Oh, yeah, I saw the pictures.
2, 3, 3. Yeah, it's all on the wall.
Stop. We got a winner.
Dang, that's quick.
Well, there's 1 through 5, so it better be Chef.
For
Oh,
now.
well, you can't really see it. Chef, you won, bro. Number 4. Get a hold of Gary on Instagram. I believe it's Lafleur Company.
Lafleur Beards.
Lafleur Beards. So
Yep.
get a hold of him, dude. I will tell you honestly, bro, I highly recommend the Lindsay. I really do. It was my original purchase. It's freaking phenomenal.
Is there a way for me to type in the Instagram tag?
Oh, probably if you put it right in the comments.
It's not letting me.
LAFLU. Beard, right? Beards?
Yep.
4 beards. There we go.
Cool. Thanks, sir.
Really put myself down? No, thank you. Okay. Now, we're going to move on to a different segment, okay? Usually, we love to talk about mental health, but I need to give you credit here. Guys, this is going to sound really, really weird, all right? I really didn't open up that much about it, and I really didn't talk about it. The last time this man was on my channel, he paused, and he was like, I need to talk about something. And he opened the door to that segment that you guys know that we've been doing for a while to talk about mental health and guys. Gary, I need to give you credit for helping change the history of a live feed, because it's amazing how many people have been able to open up, share stories, who have reached out privately, or given me different areas that I can go into and say, you're okay. You matter.
Yep. No,
So,
and that's been really cool to see, because it's such an important topic that I've noticed over time. Once someone has the ability kind of to break the ice, for kind of lack of a better term, but break the ice so that others know that it's okay to talk about it. Like, I'll be honest, I was struggling over the summer, and there were parts of that were related to, as I alluded to earlier, kind of being in this section of the house too long for the day, because this is where I work remotely. This is where, I started playing video games again, specifically Call of Duty, just to keep, in touch with friends across the country.
Yep.
But it was just wearing on me, being here too much.
you're lucky I love you, brother. That's all I'm saying.
Salt and pepper's it's a good acquired look.
None of that gray was there before my kids. None.
I'll never be able to do salt and pepper because it will just be salt and cayenne, and I'll be gaining back part of my soul as this becomes gray or white, whatever, what have you.
You're a ginger. We've given up on that, but still.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that at one point you did reach out over the summer and you were able to open up via Instagram. Yeah. And I thought that was beyond cool because, like I've always said, your family over here, man. You helped change a whole bunch of stuff. And it's so cool to be able to talk about it. Because in my generation, you didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
I know I'm older than you, so I can say my generation. So, yeah.
You're younger than my parents, so you're in the in between, which is a reference to Stranger Things. Now I think about it.
Joe, I know his magic is back. It's got to be back. I just, again, Chef went on this role of every single time he was in a live feed and there was a giveaway. Nobody entered because he always won.
He's got a lucky streak.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. Like, I may have started the conversation, but you continued it. You could have just said that was a one-off, and I think you deserve credit, way more credit for continuing the conversation and letting this be an area in a space where we can talk about it. Because I have the issues with mental health. Specifically depression, anxiety, and the fun ADD here and there.
Yeah.
But everyone has something that they're struggling with, whether it's internal or external. And I know for myself, sometimes I know I need to talk about it, but I don't know how. And even though I know there are people I can talk to about it, sometimes the hardest thing is just reaching out to them. Because especially in 2020, everyone was dealing with something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you want to talk about a year that changed the course of history with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I'm just watching the chat now.
Yeah, they're finally starting to talk, huh? I guess Healthy Bearded must be done. But, no judgment. Healthy has a good show.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't watched that one yet. I'm always just watching yours, so.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm beyond cool with that. No disrespect, Healthy, but yeah, mine. But yeah, so I think everyone's had to learn brand new coping skills and brand new things that can get them through certain areas. You know, it's just, hey, McMahon, how you doing, you sexy Yoki? Fuck you. That, you know, when you look at some of the stats about how domestic violence has gone up and how suicides have gone up and all kinds of other things, that I just sit and think that if people maybe talked a little more,
Yep.
You know, because I know I screw up spectacularly at a moment's notice. All right. Oh, see, Mick, it's about time you started admitting it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mick.
Mick, you might need some glasses. But
Hush you. And Vinny P, you want to talk about someone changing stuff? This guy helped raise, what was it, Vinny P, over $7,000 on the hype last Saturday? That was phenomenal, Vinny. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of that.
That's super dope.
Oh, dude, it was amazing how many companies chipped in. It was amazing how people were bidding. It was amazing, you know, just people stepping up to help. And it's like one of the things I've seen. Yeah, exactly, Jason Esther. I mean, seriously. Whew. Shut up, Joe. I'll bring the squirrels out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, come on, hide that. Maybe if I hit the right key, there we go. You know, and like I was saying before, squirrels, if people would just talk more, you know, be able to get it out there and be open about stuff. Like Bearded Life out there in the comments section, he is a very, very close friend of mine. I can call him and be like, dude, I need to vent. And he's like, all right, good.
Yep.
You know, I know when he's stressed out because I'll give him a call and go, all right, yell. You know, and it's just, wow.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Vinny, seriously.
That's super dope. Vinny, I want more guitar videos, FYI. I don't know. It was just an interesting, I guess, smorgasbord of shit.
Yeah, but you pulled through, and that's the important part.
Well, it kind of all started where I had started this new job, and so like the new insurance included, you know, mail order prescriptions, and so we sent one of mine through them, but they never sent it to me, and it was a 3-month supply. So for my primary medication, I had to go cold turkey.
Sorry.
Which I was like, I can do this, you know, like once my body kind of gets through it, but it just lasted for months to where I was just super low. And so, yeah, that was, I think, about a month before you and I last talked. And, you know, September of 2005 was a 15-year anniversary of the first time I was ever suicidal. And for whatever reason, that particular date has always just kind of loomed large, especially, you know, when it comes to quote unquote anniversaries. Yeah. And so, and one of my best friends, Andy, who is my best man, he's the one who the Andy is named for. He told me after the fact, he's like, you give that date too much power. And he's not wrong, you know? And so that's been kind of one of the things where I'm trying to let go of past difficult things.
And I know that's not easy.
No.
You know, and it's amazing, at least from my recent journey. And, oh my God, look, a Marine actually put down his freaking crayons. Are you in a Crayola coma right now, Eric? You going to be okay? Remember, save one for Chesty. That's all I'm saying. Save one for Chesty.
Crayola hangover?
Pretty much. He's a Marine. But it's amazing how we have to learn coping skills to get through certain things. Yeah. And I think that sometimes we rely on bad coping skills, and that's where I think our friends are so important. Mm-hmm. You know, hey, Billy Rogers, how you doing, Shaky? I know that I have, like you and I have talked about recently, I have screwed up spectacularly, but it's, do I keep beating myself about the head about it, or do I get moving forward?
Yep.
Andrew, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. And it's nice to have people that you can go talk to about when you feel vulnerable. And I mean, I still swear to God, Jenna lost a bet and married you, but I'm sure, talking to her is a little bit different than talking to your best friends.
Well, what's interesting is, and I think this actually happened before you and I first ever talked, but, a couple months before you and I talked, there's Morty for you guys that weren't here before. So I had a pit bull from when I lived in Detroit, and I had gotten him during probably one of the worst depressions I had ever had that lasted about 2 years. And so I got a dog. And so this dog was my boy, and then he got this really aggressive type of cancer called hemangiosarcoma, which is like it's the blood vessels, but basically he had a growth on his spleen and was internally bleeding, and eventually he just didn't wake up. And I knew it was going to hit me hard, but I didn't anticipate how hard it was going to hit me.
Yeah.
And for how long. So Jenna saw days where I didn't sleep or I didn't wake up. And this lasted for 3 or 4 months. So when you and I first spoke, like, you were at the tail end of it. And so, like, even when she gave me,
yeah, that is funny, Vinny P. You always seem to show up right in mental health time. Really, you do.
Yeah. But, she had every reason where she could have left, and she didn't. And I knew a year prior, like, I'm going to marry this girl, and that she stuck with me through that. And also stuck with me through 2020 and almost burning down the house. Yeah. Keep her.
My first thought was, God, I hope you have a comfortable couch. We
did. Our dogs ate all 3.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I had one right here, which Benji, the puppy, ate. And the other 2, they've been slowly eating. And so this room is going to become the new living room because there's a barrier where we can put like a baby gate.
Yeah.
And so we're going to replace those couches and protect them. And then this is going to go into that room over there. So we're just reorganizing everything. It's been fun.
Trust me, human kids aren't any easier on furniture than dogs. We got this really expensive couch at tax time a couple years ago. And my son, God, I love him, but he almost met Jesus the first day it came in the house. He sits on the couch and tore a hole in it 25 minutes after it got in the house.
Oh my God. So that was the thing that Loki, my old pit bull, had taught me, was like, I hope you don't love your physical possessions because I will eat all of them.
Right.
So this was back in 2010, and I was still an active musician. He chewed up one of my guitars. So it was like, well, he is a puppy. He is teething. So like I sanded it down so it was a natural finish, but it was just like when we first got Morty and he was we saw him chew on guitar cables once. And so because those are basically half of my assets covered by renter's insurance, this is all baby gated. Like, they are not touching the guitars. Yeah, Vinny, that was Loki. This was actually, so this was my Christmas present last year. That my wife got me. It's a wood burning.
Oh my God, look at that stash. Guys, we're going to get a better look at his stash in just a couple moments.
That's kind of my thin beard that I used to have. But yeah, he lived up to the name.
Nice. You know what, guys? we got one more giveaway we're going to do. So hang on real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the dozens of you watching and the thousands of you that should be watching, it's time for a giveaway!
Guys, I got to do that or I got to answer to them, so sorry. All right, now Gary has been really, really kind to give away an oil and a comb. So we're going to do the Dan C rules, only enter once after I give you the number range. The internet's going to prioritize your answer only. Don't bitch if you get prioritized. We got a little bit more people in here, so we're going to up the number range this time. It's going to be 1 through 7 and go. Yeah, my son was really scared filming that video because, like you and I talked about, we watched some Michael Buffer stuff.
Oh, nice.
And he was trying not to die laughing as he was filming that. For the next giveaway, if you watch it, you can see him fighting back the smile.
So after our last conversation, so Michael Buffer did the, let's get ready to rumble. But then I didn't realize his brother Bruce is the one that's like, it's time, for the main event. I didn't realize that there were two of them. And both of them were basically graced with the vocal cords that have that timbre to them.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, there's one number missing. One number missing. One. Somebody type it in there. One. We're not re-rolling on this. One. I bet everyone's going through counting the numbers trying to figure out what I'm talking about. There we go. First one who came up on the screen.
One is the loneliest number.
I know, man. Dude, get a hold of him on IG at Lafleur Beards. He'll square you away. There we go.
Cool.
Okay, now we're going to play a little game with you, Gary. We're going to play like reveal the pictures, okay? Now, guys, Gary was kind enough. Last time he came on the show, he sent packaging photos of the brand new stuff. This time, not so much. I want you guys to see kind of the before Gary and him using his own product. So if I screw this up, forgive me. I haven't really done a lot of screen sharing, but we'll go get through this together, okay? All right. Let's see. I think that's the one I want to do. Now look at that shot. Look at that shot.
So this was shortly after my wife and I started dating, and she has been wanting me to do a reset again ever since. And it's been easy to say no just because, hon, I have a beard oil company. I can't go clean shaven again.
Yeah. Look at that face. That's that face of, I used to have a beard. I used to be cool.
It's my butt chin, as I call it.
All right, where is that next one? Oh, come on. You're not going to do that to me, are you? All right, let's just... Now, see... All right, pull up. Come on. That one's, a little better.
That was a little better. That was before my last reset, but also before starting Lafleur Co. So I did a trip out to Colorado to see my dad, and went snowboarding. And this ties into another picture, but notice that there are no icicles.
Yeah, no, I can see that. All right, this is the one I have been waiting to show all day. Look at that stash. Oh my God.
So I don't know about you guys, but every time I do a reset, it's like you got to do all the different facial hairstyles. And so, we got to talk about the monkey tail beard. I've been hearing about that. It's not for me. Everybody else doing it, by all means, but I can't do it.
I'm sorry. Every time I see this picture, I'm like, every bad guy in every 80s cop show ever
What are you
Right
talking about? That's Tom Selleck right there. That's
Yeah,
Tom Selleck.
Okay. That's the look at me, I'm a badass, but that stash screams 70s porno all over it. But
Well, the funny thing too is that guitar, like I recorded a deathcore metal song with that mustache because it was the only way like it could make it less intense was with the mustache.
I'm assuming you wiped out here, maybe a timer 5 with this one coming up.
Yeah, so this was at Loveland. So Jenna was doing her first ever ski lesson, so I just kind of went and did whatever. And so I'd been snowboarding for 20 years at that point, and this was the first time like I'd gone to this hill, and it actually felt kind of good to fall, as strange as that sounds, just because I hadn't been able to do it in a bit, like go snowboarding. But this was at the top of Loveland, and it was the first time I've ever had icicles in my beard. So
Nice.
see, the beard's growing longer at this point. This is post founding of Lafleur Co.
Yeah, see, that I told you the stuff works. It is sneaky, sneaky good. Now, this is the one I love. I call this business professional cheesy.
So this was actually graduation day. So Dimitri, who the Dimitri's named for, he and I met at grad school, and we had just gotten an award. We each got awards for our respective programs because he was in the Houston Weekend MBA program through UT Austin, and I was in the Dallas program, weekend program. And so we would always meet up in Austin the summer before the new year, and we do what were called intensives, where it's 8 to 12 hours of class for a week. And so he and I met going into second year, and we were both looking at consulting, and we just became close over interview prep. And literally smartest dude I know. This Dimitri had a doctorate in engineering prior to doing his MBA.
Damn.
And he works for one of the top 3 consulting firms. So he and I have been close ever since, and he actually got ordained to marry my wife and I. So
Oh, that is awesome.
yeah,
That's funny you should mention that marriage because, with all these comicals, you got to.
that's my wife, and she's we did a first look, and so I was late. I was still on time for pictures, but I was late. It took me like 11 minutes to tie my tie because my hands were just shaking. And so like we got there, my best man like made me chug a drink. So I was still shaking, and then we did first look, and I was fine. Like we were both fine after that. So
all right, close that. Sorry, get your butt back in here. All right, there we go. See, now that's just kind of cool. Dude, Rambo Tweety, look, I know he's got email. You can get a hold of him at. Just send him an email, bro. Make sure you reference that you won the giveaway in the no lag zone.
Yeah, just do lafleurbeards@gmail.com.
And Tyson, I saw you came in when I was looking at a different screen. Sorry, bro. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing fine, man. Doing fine. And yeah, I agree. No monkey tail beard. No. No.
Okay, let's talk about monkey tail beard because I just started seeing that. Like when you go to the page on your phone where it's just like random news articles that the algorithms have like. It started. One, I've seen Dan C. Bearded's videos like pop up in that, which is like, oh, I know who that is. But then like the monkey tail beards have been popping up in there. I was like, what?
Who would ever do that?
Not you or I, but I mean, whatever.
The last time a razor touched this, the wife basically said, no more wife cardio till it's gone. And I went, well, fuck, I just put in butter. Oh, well,
As they say in Letterkenny, the toe curling is another word for the wife cardio.
It's my favorite workout. That's all I'm saying. It's the only cardio I really like.
It's good ab workout, too.
And you burn as many calories as I think it's either running 2 miles or a marathon when you have sex, something like that. But
yeah, but I can't run a marathon in 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, 5 minutes. Wow, putting in the good foreplay work. Way to go, Gary.
Hey, man. It works. It works.
He's like, have you seen my wife? You damn right I'm putting the work in. I'll come out with lockjaw and cramped fingers. I don't care.
Not wrong.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. All right, man. Now, forgive me. I can't remember if the last time you were on the show, we kind of have the lightning round now where I ask you a bunch of weird questions.
Yep.
Was that there last time?
Yeah, I think I was one of the first that you asked the pineapple question.
Okay, well, we've expanded a little bit since then, brother. So guess what? You're going through it again.
All right.
Now, like I tell everyone, these are simple questions. Very, very simple. There is no wrong answer. Okay?
All right, let's do it.
Chicken or fish?
Fish.
Burgers or tacos? And I know you're in Texas, so I know that's hard.
Tacos.
All right. Now, I think you're the one who coined the phrase the Dagwood sandwich, you know, the really big one with all the meat and cheese and everything on there, and, you know, you stack it up. Or pizza.
Dagwood.
You know, like those deli sandwiches that are just stacked full.
So, depends on the pizza place, but you can never really go wrong with a sandwich. So,
Don't think I'm not bitter about that, Andrew. Don't think I'm not.
you know, when COVID's all said and done, and there's some semblance of like you can travel safely, we're just gonna do. Well, also this has to take place in 2022 because I'm doing a dry 2021, which is not fun. But we'll have to do a live stream with drinks and tacos or something.
19 days and counting. And yeah, no offense, I'll have to pass on that live stream because I do dumb shit when I've been drinking alcohol on live stream. So yeah, no. I love you, but no.
Have you seen the one video that we posted on our YouTube, which was my buddy who's a sommelier, and we're icing each other and drinking scotch? Now that was a fun time, but we just got stupid. Like I'm okay with stupid.
I will freely admit, I don't have that off switch in my brain that goes, "Hey, you dumb Irish Mick bastard, you have had enough. Shut up." I'm still standing upright. Bartender, give me another beer. You know, so
you need to meet my buddy Toulouse. But also keep in mind I was in a fraternity, so I've seen all sorts of stupid. You're good.
I was in the military. Bring it. You ain't gonna scare me.
Touche.
Saying, bring it, frat boy. I don't care.
Bro.
All right, Matt. Favorite movie? Vintage is in the house. I mean, oh, hey, Diva. How are you, buddy? I told you I was going to get on that one, Barbado.
So, favorite movie? It's either going to be a Mel Brooks film or it's going to be a Monty Python. But funniest movie I can remember growing up was Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So,
okay,
we'll go with that one.
And if you want to go with Mel Brooks, no offense, Blazing Saddles.
No, Young Frankenstein.
Blazing Saddles. You would never get that movie made nowadays.
Absolutely not. It's hilarious, but it still could never be made today. But I can still quote a lot of Young Frankenstein.
Sorry, go ahead.
Walk this way. This way. Stocking scene.
I watched Blazing Saddles this last weekend, and my kids are like, "Daddy, why are you crying? We don't get this movie." I'm like, "Your generation never will." You know, it's just okay.
Yeah, Andrew. So, Lord of the Rings, like as a book series, a little dry the first book, but after that, super dope.
Yeah, but if you read Tolkien's, oh God, his son produced it. I don't remember what it's called, but his manuscript progression for Lord of the Rings. So when you read the original thing behind it, and like Aragorn was supposed to be a hobbit that wore clogs. And you're like, what the hell? And it's just weird watching all the progression where it got to where it got in this one book that's about like that thick, you know?
Hey, Rambo, were you like me where you're like at the end of History of the World Part 1 and they were doing the History of the World Part 2 kind of trailer? Like, is there a History of the World Part 2? Nope.
The biggest thing I remember about History of the World Part 1 is Jews in space and all, you know, the Stars of David in the fighter formation. I'm like, Mel, I love you.
I remember the horse named Miracle. So they kept doing the punchline, it will take a miracle to save us, and the horse would pop up out of nowhere. And then the streets are crawling with soldiers, and the soldiers are literally army crawling. Yeah.
Or, you know, the ever popular, you look like the piss boy. You know?
I'm glad we can just do quotes. I just love it.
That's what I said, with this show, you never know what's going to happen, you know?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Baseball or hockey?
Hockey. Specifically the Red Wings. Even though they've been garbage for the past few years. I'm always hoping.
My Edmonton Oilers haven't been great since the 80s, but I keep hoping, you know?
I mean, so I was living in Detroit last time that the Red Wings won against the Penguins. And I remember I was delivering for Jimmy John's at the time. And there was the parade down Woodward Avenue. And the delivery was on the other side. And there was, like, I tried getting across for 30 minutes. And I came back and, like, I can't go there. So that was cool. And then I was also there at a local bar for Game 7 when they lost the following year. I was expecting a riot, but we just finished our drinks when we walked home. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, no free CDs tonight.
I was a young 20. I think I was still 19 or 20 at the time. And so, you know, stupid, wanting to riot, of course. So stupid. And yeah, thankfully we didn't riot. And I'm glad.
Hey, use the correct vernacular. Peaceful protest. That's all I'm saying.
No, there's no peaceful protesting when it comes to a sports game.
No, it's almost time for bed. Because she shouldn't. Told you they'd show up sooner or later.
Hi.
Yeah. All right, football or basketball?
Football.
Nice. All right, man. What is your favorite song?
Oh, God. I can typically narrow it down to a top 10. To be safe, my wedding song was La Vie en Rose, the Louis Armstrong version. But from a guitar standpoint, Tendinitis by Jason Richardson will make any guitar player want to quit guitar.
Yeah, but I like how before you answer that, you're like, is Jenna around? Jenna around? Can she hear me? You know? Nice. Nice. All right, man. Now, do you use biotin?
I have not. I know you guys have talked about it before. So I tend to like to try things out. I haven't yet. So if and when I do, I'll ask you for a recommendation just because I'm a hands-on learner. So this thing might burn off my beard, but you know.
All that ginger growth is natural.
Yeah. This is all the past year too. Like you saw my wedding picture, you saw how short that was. Yeah. And so this is actually the first time so I have my chest tattoo is a tree. And so this is the first time where I haven't had to worry about a treetop because it's all covered.
Nice.
So
Andrew, I know he talked about having butters out by Christmas of this year. What about bombs?
So the bombs will come after the butters. Because as you know, I'm slow as it is with releases. And it's purely because I don't want to mess it up. I feel like
I get that.
I feel like, you know, we've done all right with the beard oils. There's still room for improvement. As you mentioned before, like the scents can kind of punch you in the nose. So there's room to improve between batches, I feel like, with the oils. And I feel it would be a step backwards if we released something too quickly that just wasn't up to everybody's standards. And it also gets the opportunity for us to get more feedback. So Andrew, you weren't here earlier, but so the way that I'm going to be doing the butters is like initially when I get formula that I'm happy with, it will go to a few of like my closest circle, and then I'm going to open it up to everybody in this community. So sending you guys samples and getting some feedback.
Okay, so if you had to choose like one men's grooming company for the rest of your life, and you can't pick yours because that's kind of cheating,
that is.
what would it be?
So I'm actually. Have you ever heard of the brand 1821?
Offhand, no.
Okay, so their body wash that I've been using for a few years is a bourbon and vanilla that I really like, and then they actually have a balm that's similar, and so
You'd be good, my brother.
Croatia. That's where my grandma's from.
So 1821 is your choice, huh?
Yeah, but I do like the pre-wash that I got from Chesapeake.
Gary makes good stuff. Seriously, he really does. Well, yeah, Gary, because you're the other Gary. So Gary.
But I haven't dallied as much around with the newer brands, or not the newer brands, but since being more involved in the community and joining the stream, like there are so many companies that join the stream on a regular basis that I need to try, and I just haven't been in a position where I can find like where I can spend more money on other people's stuff and take up more counter space in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that. So I can have more space. But
my better half hates me. I basically dominate the bathroom and a lot of shelf space in the bedroom.
Sorry. Yeah.
Though you're a small bit of the collection.
I know. But basically, I want to try out more of the boutique brands because, prior to 2018, I had only ever really tried the bigger brands that everybody's ever heard of. So, so since then, I've gotten to learn about more companies, and one that you keep bringing up over time is like Fruit Loop scent.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I have never tried that before. Maybe I'll give it a go.
You've got to get, in my opinion, the right company.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, like when I did my Fruit Loops face off, I had like I think 7 companies, and one of them I got from Canada.
7 companies do a Fruit Loops. That's incredible.
What's worse, and I can say this safely because I know my better half isn't home. One of them was with Ruddy Man Grooming, and he did it in his Ruddy Reveal, which was a special thing. Yeah. So I had to drop $100 for a half ounce to get the whole year set just to get that 1 cent for the review.
Oh my God! Wait, $100? Why do you have to?
You got the whole year's Ready Reveal in 1 set, but you couldn't get it other than that if you hadn't gotten it.
Like a little bottle, you had to get the whole thing.
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, McMahon, Anointed AK, they were hands down blew everything away. They got 5s right across the board.
Okay.
You got to get the right company. You do. Like that one I got from Canada.
Yeah.
How can you call this Fruit Loops? It doesn't smell like anything.
I've learned a lot about, I don't want to call them big beard oil companies, but we'll call them medium-sized, medium-large. Yeah.
Digging it. Sometimes you have to look because what I've found, like when you go looking for Lafleur and Company, they'll batch everything together. So somewhere on that screen, hopefully, unless something's changed, Gary, you can switch.
Well, one of the things too was the last batch that I sent into them. I had a buddy in Louisiana.
Much love, much love.
How's it going, Vinny? So I have a buddy in Louisiana who reached out, and this was like the week after I sent the stuff to Amazon, and it was saying that he wasn't going to be able to get anything until end of February. So I know Amazon's like shipment kind of pattern has been affected by COVID. Like I saw this earlier during the pandemic where even if I ordered my own stuff, it was going to take a month for me to get it.
Yeah.
So the Lindsay might be the only thing that's showing right now. I know they have the Eric, they have the Michael. They don't have the Andy or the Gary, but they should have everything else. So if it's not showing just yet, it will. And I know I got to resupply the Lindsay because that one's getting eaten up.
Because it's good.
I know.
It is one of the most unique profiles I think I've ever tried on a whim. Seriously.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you went down the rabbit hole, as they say.
Guys, I can't lie. I was drunk. I know. Surprise. Shut up, everybody, okay? I'm surfing through Amazon at like 3 a.m. for beard oil. Page 75, I went black pepper hickory. Sold!
Then came my first ever colonoscopy.
Without a warning. It was kind of
like whoa!
Right, it was like a mugging. He got up in the morning and, ow!
At least lube your hands when you do it next time, man. Damn.
All right, Matt, what's your favorite ice cream?
Oh, God. If you got chocolate and peanut butter, I'm your man. Should. I mean, I got basically everything on hand except for the Gary and the Andy. Those two have to make. But if you're in Dallas, we can make that happen. Square them out.
What is your favorite holiday?
I don't like the 2-month Christmas thing. That's not a popular opinion. I'm not a big fan of 2 months of Christmas.
It's not 2 months. It's 11 months. We're already in the Christmas season, okay?
Okay. I'll say Easter just because I do enjoy kind of springtime. So I'll say Easter.
Nice. All right, Mr. Corporate Raider, we're going to give you the perfect human resource question that everybody asks you on an interview and you freaking hate. You can either say it for yourself or for your business.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Well, I'm about to be unemployed again because my contract with the bank that I work with is about to be up. So this is actually probably good prep. So I'd like to say in 10 years, Lafleur Co. will be sustainable to where I'm not paying for rent for it. It is purely funding itself from a rent perspective and all the operations.
Liam.
Have a good one, Liam.
Yes, have water.
Hopefully that venture is Lafleur & Co. is profitable and allows me to, I guess, put towards the future of my family. Hopefully a couple kids by then. And I won't be the CEO of Lafleur & Co. by that point. That was actually something I came to the conclusion of this year, where on some reflection, I know when I get competitive versus collaborative. So when I am in a competitive mode, it kind of becomes like a scorched earth type thing, to where you might be playing to beat me. I'm playing to make you hurt.
See, I'm just getting this vision of the Untouchables with Capone at the table, you know, and he's like, I want to go to his house. I want to burn it down. I want to piss on the ashes. I want to kill his kids, you know?
So I'm not that extreme, but like when I was younger, specifically in sports environments, my coaches they taught me not to be dirty, but to get mean, because I'm typically, you know, a person who enjoys working with other people and is generally nice. I don't typically get visibly angry, but they kind of taught me, like in a competitive one-on-one, especially with wrestling, like, Gary, you're a nice guy, but you need to get mean. And so eventually, like even say chess, I'm just playing to take as many of your pieces as possible. I don't care if I win. I'm going to make this as painful for you as possible. And so I don't want to be in a role where that becomes the person that I have to, like, I don't want to be that.
I'll give you credit, because not a lot of people are that self-aware, you know, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, do I literally have to tell a good friend, chess is not a full contact sport, Gary?
No, but I know how. I was a 160-pound nose tackle, and I started because of that kind of, I call it stupidity at this point. Just like, I'm going to go through against these people that weigh way more than I do. I'm going to get 4 concussions doing it.
Yeah.
But I am going to be just basically biting ankles, is what my coach used to call it, you know?
Yeah, you're going to have to kill me to make me quit. That kind of attitude, you know?
Yeah. And that was just a realization over the summers. Like, I enjoy the 9,000 mile or 9,000 foot view and like planning kind of like long-term strategy, but I don't want to be in a role where, you know, it becomes me against someone else. I'd rather take a step back and say, okay, I enjoy making the products themselves. So eventually I'd like to move into the operations role, and then eventually purely R&D, where I'm making new products and I'm working with, you know, you or Andrew Carlisle or whoever, and just saying, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? You know, that's where I tend to be my best, is when I'm collaborating with other people. And so that's where I want to move.
Such respect for being that self-aware, you know?
Thank you.
Like I said, I've said it repeatedly. I am my own biggest nightmare 99% of the time, you know?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I know that. Sometimes I can stop myself. There's other times I'm like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You know, and then I wake up the next morning to 8,000 text messages, 80 voicemails going, no.
You're better than me, because I wouldn't have even looked at my phone. Like, that was the habit I got into with COVID. Is like, there are days I don't look at my phone. So I give you credit for looking at your phone the next day.
Hey, as long as I'm waking up in my house and the better half's still here, yay. You know,
key.
I didn't do anything too stupid. All right, man. We got the last 2 questions, which you already know. We got a giveaway, and we're going to do our little wrap up like we usually do, because, well, it's a school night. I got to start the winding down process of my kids.
I am a chatty Cathy, so
that's fine.
You're good.
It's just we've had 4 days off. Tomorrow is a half day. So I'm like, why are you even having to go back at all this week? Just wipe the week.
That does make sense.
But that's the great state of Washington, brother. All right, man. You know them. Pineapple on pizza, and how do you take your steak?
No pineapple on pizza. Preferably the pizza is sausage with jalapeno. That's how I do it. And then medium rare.
Nice.
So.
All right, man. We got one more of your products to give away. So, you know, if I don't do this, you know, I'm going to never hear the end of it from my kids. So sorry, guys. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the dozens of you watching and the thousands of you that should be watching, it's time for a giveaway!
See, I told you, when he's there, you can just see him fighting back the laughter.
I can't help but smile. That's so cute.
Alrighty, guys, we're going to do random number generator. You know, Dan C rules. The internet's going to prioritize your answer only enter once. We're down to 9 people in here, so let's just say random number 1 to 5, go.
Yeah, Andrew, sometimes when I'm, like if I do a shower in the evening before I go to bed, like I'll just throw some Bradley in, like in the hair and in the beard.
It's the Lindsay.
The one I can't keep in the house or even on me is the Gary. Like I'll have a bottle on me and someone always takes it.
Nice. And guys, we have a winner. So, Billy Rivers, the number was 4. Dude, Lafleur Beards, get a hold of this man. He gonna hook you up.
Yeah, just Instagram at Lafleur Beards. And for Rambo Tweety, he has my email address since he doesn't have Instagram. So we're good there.
Now, you know, I got to bust you out of that. You actually have to check your Instagram, brother.
I do after every live stream where we give away stuff. I do.
Alrighty, guys, we did have an exclusive giveaway tonight, but we didn't hit 20 people in the chat. So I'm going to roll it over to next week's show. Seriously, it's something really, really cool from the Bluegrass Bearded family. You guys get the word out. If we get above 20, we're going to give it away.
Bluegrass, they're the ones with the cookies, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah. If this is hope, maybe cookies, definitely going for it.
Ken is an amazing dude. I am so proud to call him a brother. His wife has now become the cookie queen. You know, her cookies go for astronomical amounts in charity auctions.
Yep.
Woo. Yeah. But all right, we're at that point where we're kind of doing the wrap up. Gary, what's coming up for Lafleur Company?
So we have the new packaging that should be released by end of this quarter. One of the first pieces of feedback that you had given me was with regard to pieces of information kind of scattered between summaries and website and everything. So with the new packaging launch, we're doing a revamp of our website, and also if Amazon gives me the rights to my product packaging, label, logo that I have trademarks for, we'll be able to have like a nice professional storefront so that if you type in shops/Lafleur Beards on Amazon, we'll actually have a storefront versus stuff kind of everywhere. That's been its own hassle. So we're working on that. But yeah, so once the new packaging and website have been rolled out, we'll be working on some new stuff for you guys. That includes new scents for beard oils, but predominantly we'll be working on the new butters. And I'm really excited to be sharing that with you guys. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and especially in 2020, it just kind of felt like I was getting hit by too many things at once.
Understand.
So I guess one of the benefits of having the fire is like we have these new pots for our waxes, and I like these pots, so that's what I'm going to do the waxes and the butters in. So we'll be good.
Nice. All right, guys, tomorrow I've got a knife review dropping. I know I haven't done one of those in a long while. I will give you a little preview. It's a very brand new one by CRKT. The only place you can get it right now is crkt.com. I literally got the email and went, that looks interesting, and ordered it that very day. So, like I say everywhere, guys, if you're suffering out there, please reach out, talk to somebody. You know, friends, brothers, family, clergy, anybody. I'm here for you. My brother over here, you know, he reached out at one point. I was there for him, and I was willing to go live with him to talk about, you know, feedback and other stuff. But, you know, it never happened. But it's okay, Gary. No offense. No,
I did go live after that. Like Andrew Carlisle came in. I think a few people came in, but it was very brief. And I think it was it was basically what I had messaged you that one time. I was like, some days you just don't look at reviews.
Yep.
And yeah, to pair what you're saying.
Lost in thought.
Lost in thought. Reach out. Even if you're not the one struggling with something, if you know someone else is dealing with something, just checking on them. There have been a handful of times where someone reached out to me and it kept me from doing something stupid. And so you never know if you're the one that is. You never know what's on the other end of that phone call.
Exactly.
On behalf of those people, thank you for when you do reach out, because it does mean a lot.
Now, with that note, guys, we've got a little outro video that we're going to play here in just a moment, something I kind of cooked up. But like I say in every single video that I do, I hope all of you are being safe. I hope all of you are having a great one, and we'll see you in the next video.
Guys, thank you so much for the time you just gave me. I hope you enjoyed our guest tonight, if we had one, and yes, I'm pre-recording this, or that you might have enjoyed an open mic night or whatever the heck just happened. We're going to try to do these every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and whatever you guys are in between and around the world. Next week, we should have another amazing guest or something really cool for you to watch. Thanks so much for watching all this stuff, guys, and we'll see you in our next one.